Well, I've had a number of very fine career opportunities. My first one was when I became law director of the city of Detroit back in 1974. But the most important one occurred when I represented the Ford Motor Company when I was a partner at Dykema. We were successful in winning that case, and I received an offer to come to work for Ford as an officer of the company by the general counsel at the time, Hank Nolte. The reason why this is so important is my dad worked in the foundry at Ford 100 years ago. It started in 1918. Then I had a younger brother work for Ford. The reason why I went to college and to law school was to avoid working in the factory at Ford. So it was interesting that finally my career, after being a lawyer for 20 years, I ended up running the Washington Affairs office for Ford Motor Company. That was the most significant career opportunity that I had. Well, I was very interested in the law as a tool to make change. I started law school in 1961. That was before the 1964 Civil Rights Act and the 1965 Voting Rights Act. And I was interested in using the law and becoming involved in the African American community to make change. So it was very interesting. I started law school in 61. While I was in law school, these two great legislative acts took place in the Congress, but there are still a number of issues that we still had to deal with as lawyers. So when I graduated from law school, I became president of the Detroit branch of the NAACP, so we were able to get involved in school desegregation and some other issues. So I was able to at least pursue a bit of why I went to law school, and that was to change things for the better for the African American community, not only in Detroit but throughout the nation. I say pursue it with vigor. A law degree is a very interesting degree. You can either practice law, you can teach law, you can work in the general counsel's office of the myriad corporations that are around the country and the world, and you can seek what you want to do in life in many directions. So continue to pursue this degree because it gives you an opportunity not only to do a number of things, but also to be leaders in the political field. Many lawyers, as you know, have become presidents of the United States and also mayors and governors around the country. So the degree is a very useful degree in terms of leadership. Well, one of the other honorees this evening is Ernie Goodman. Ernie Goodman had the first interracial office here in the United States, and I worked in Ernie's office for a couple of years, and then I left the office, and we then had an opportunity to try one of the big celebrated cases here in the city of Detroit back in 1971. The Black Panther Party and 16 of its young members were charged with killing a police officer. Ernie Goodman came in to be the head lawyer in that case, and I assisted him along with two other lawyers. So I had an opportunity to work with one of the finest litigators that I've ever been associated with, and that was Ernie Goodman. We prepared for that case meticulously. There was nothing that happened during the 4 weeks of that trial that Ernie did not prepare for. And I learned a great deal from working with Ernie Goodman. And that started me off in a long criminal law career. After I became president of the NAACP and after trying that case with Ernie Goodman, I was asked by Coleman Young, who was newly elected mayor of the city of Detroit in 1974, to come and run the law office for the city, or the corporation counsel's office. So I stayed with Coleman Young for a couple of years, and then I left that office, and he gave me the responsibility of integrating the Detroit Police Department and the Detroit Fire Department in its upper echelons. At the time that he became mayor, there was very little representation of African Americans in the police department and and the fire department. So we were successful over a period of years to get young men and women to be promoted from the ranks of patrolmen and entry firemen to lieutenants, commanders, and deputy chiefs. So I'm very proud of what we were able to accomplish during Coleman Young's administration. Well, one of the great features of being a lawyer is that you have an opportunity as an almost automatic leader because of your legal background to participate in the community and to be leaders in the community. So it was an easy transition for me, not only to work in a law office and try cases, but also to join various nonprofit groups in the city, like the Family Service of Detroit and Wayne County, and even the DIA, and also and my most important one was, of course, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, because then you're using all your skills as a lawyer and as a leader to really reach out in the community and make a difference by dealing with all of the issues that were impacting the community negatively.